Welcome back to Seeking Inner Peace, the space where we explore the balance between the mind, body, and spirit. My name is Awa, and today we're diving into the dance between the feminine and the masculine energy. How these two forces exist within each of us, and how understanding them can bring more peace, confidence, and alignment in our lives. Many of us are taught to associate femininity with women and masculinity with men, but that's not true. In truth, these energies transcend gender. They are cosmic forces present in all of us, and when they are balanced, we move through life with greater ease and purpose. But when they're out of alignment, we may feel disconnected, exhausted, or uncertain. So, in this episode, we'll explore what feminine and masculine energy really are, how they show up in daily life, and how to cultivate harmony between them. Let's start with the basics. What do we mean by feminine and masculine energy? So, the masculine energy often is described as structured, action oriented, it's logical, it's protective, it's goal driven. So, this energy is more of a doing kind of energy, of creating system, moving forward. If you think of the sun, it's constant, it's bright, it's direct. If you think of the men in your life, they're very logical. They generally have a way to go about things, and that's kind of how it goes. That's the masculine energy. The feminine energy is more flowy. I like to think about feminine energy as water. It's flowy. It's very intentional. It's receptive, creative. It's deeply in the feelings. It feels a lot. So it's the essence of being rather than doing, of trusting the unknown and surrendering to life's rhythm. So if you think about the moon, it's cyclical, it's changing, and it's reflective. If you think about the women in your life, they change a lot. They're very much in their emotions. They're generally very intuitive, and they kind of go with the flow. They adjust very well. So that is feminine energy. So these energies exist in all of us, no matter our gender. We both have the masculine and the feminine within us. The key is not to lose one over the other, but to honor both and allow them to work together rather than against each other. Take a moment to reflect. Do you feel more connected to your masculine or feminine energy? Are you more structured and logical, or are you more intuitive and flowing? So for me, I have been in specific times in my life, I was very in my masculine energy. I was very much in a doing and go-getter hustle mentality. I'm now more in a feminine energy, I believe, but I do use my masculine energy constructively in order to achieve my goals. For example, even doing this video recording, it took structure and organization. So that's how I use my masculine energy. So I do have to balance it with I tend to gravitate more towards my masculine energy based on how I've grown up and the things that I've internalized into my character. So I do have to I'm making more of an emphasis on my feminine energy in order to create balance in my life. And that's what we're all about here, balance, right? When these energies are out of balance, it can show up in different ways. Here's what that might look like. So if you have an excess of masculine energy, then you might be more in your hustle mode, like you're constantly doing something, you're always busy, but you're never truly present. You're just doing things, you're running left and right, doing so many things all the time, but you're not really in the moment while you're doing those things. You're just going through the flow. Or you have difficulties expressing your emotions or being vulnerable, understanding your emotions as well, and being present with yourself. You're overly critical. You're very rigid and or controlling. You struggle to change course when things are not how you want them to be. Also, you feel disconnected from your intuition. You're not in tune with yourself anymore. You don't know what's right for you and what's wrong for you. Those are excess of masculine energy. Signs of excess of feminine energy is you lack structure, you're struggling with discipline or consistency, you're overwhelmed by emotions or indecisions, you don't know what to do all the time, you're just constantly lost. you're constantly flowing pretty much. You're feeling stuck in dreamland, like you're not making any moves, you're not taking any actions to get where you want to go. um, you're struggling with boundaries or people pleasing. You're always trying to be a good person, trying to be a nice person, which is very much a feminine energy. I've struggled with people pleasing for some time in my life, and little by little I'm crawling out of that. But that's what it is. You have an excess of feminine energy, and you can understand that all of those have good and bad sides, so we both want them equally in us, but in the balance that's right for us. When you're overly in your masculinity, you may feel burned out, always chasing the next thing without stopping to enjoy the present. And when you're overly in your feminine, you may feel lost, flowing without direction, and struggling to bring our ideas into reality. So think about your life right now. Do any of these signs resonate with you? Where do you feel more balance, or where do you feel more imbalance? Okay, so let's talk about another principle, the principle of polarity. The principle of polarity states that everything has its opposite, yet both are interconnected. Masculine and feminine are not separate, they are two sides of the same coin. So, have you ever noticed how the moon and the sun never meet, yet they balance the world together? And yet, one cannot exist without the other. Darkness defines light, just as stillness makes movement meaningful. That's the principle of polarity. Feminine and masculine energy work the same way, different but equal forces of creation. The feminine is receptive, fluid, intuitive, like the ocean, and the masculine is directive, structured, and focused, like the mountain. Opposite yet drawn to one another. It's not about one overpowering the other. True harmony comes when both energies are embraced within us. Feminine energy flows, nurtures, and creates, while the masculine energy builds, protects, and leads. Together, they form the rhythm of existence. When one is too dominant, we feel imbalanced. A river with no banks is chaos, and a mountain without water is lifeless. So we must learn to dance between the two, to flow when needed and to stand firm when necessary. Not war, but a dance. Not competition, but complementary. When we honor both energies, we unlock true power. Now that we understand these energies, how do we bring them into balance? So, to activate your feminine energy, spend time in stillness. Like, I know I talk a lot about meditation and journaling and creative expression, but I talk about it and I bring it up again and again. It's because it's true. It is very helpful. So spend time doing that. Like, honestly, meditation doesn't have to be you sitting in a desk, on the floor, or however you. It doesn't have to be rigid. Meditation can happen when you're walking. Meditation can happen when you're listening to music. It's all about being intentional and being like present in the moment. Okay? Connect with nature and honor your body's natural rhythm, dance. Like, I think if you want to like really embody your feminine energy, dress like it, wear dresses, care about your beauty, care about beauty in general. Just love beauty, observe it, allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to ask for help, be vulnerable with your emotion, understand when it's too much and when it's not too much, pay attention to your body, be in tune and flow with like what's happening. Don't be too strict or rigid. Allow yourself to like be kind to yourself. So those are all things you can do to cultivate your feminine energy. If you want to cultivate your masculine energy, you have to be more strict. You have to set goals. You have to be more decisive. You have to take actions. I think routines are very important. I made a video about that, but you have to like create routines for yourself, and you have to build discipline. You have to bring structure into your life. You have to have a vision, and you have to work towards that vision. You have to take action in the things that you want. Don't just think about it, do something about it. You have to strengthen your ability to set boundaries and stand firm in the decisions that you make. You cannot just go left and right based on other people's move or moods. You just have to stand strong on your own. So a simple way to integrate both is through your daily habits, right? So I love habits. We love habits in this channel. So you might start your morning with structure, so plan your day. That's a structured thing that you can do. And then you might end your day with journaling, so that's something flowy, that's feminine. uh, as you can see, you can implement those things in all aspects of your life. You might decide to go weightlifting. That's very structured, that's very masculine. That's or you can go do some yoga, some gentle movements. That's very feminine. Or move your hips, do some dances. That's very feminine. So again, feminine and masculine exists in all aspects of life. And once you understand that, you can see it very much everywhere. And it's great to implement it in your life in different ways based on what you want to bring more out of you. What is one way you can integrate any of those ideas into your life in order to balance your energy? And what is the energy that you feel like you're more dominant in right now? I feel like I've asked this question, but I'm repeating it. What is an energy that you feel like you're more dominant in, and is this the energy that you want to feel dominant in it, right? Do you want to change the balance a little bit? I know for me, I had to eventually, because I was going way more left than my liking. So, like, where are you and where are you trying to go? If you're where you are, that's great. If you're not where you are, it's also great, because now you know and you can make changes. That's all I had to say for today. As we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought. True power comes from embracing both your masculine and your feminine energies. You don't have to choose between structure and flow, logic and intuition. You are both, okay? So we are both. And when we learn how to honor each energy at the right time, life moves with more ease, joy, and alignment. So I might give you a challenge this weekend. Let's see how it goes, okay? So this week, I want you to practice balancing your energies. If you've been stuck in an action mode, slow down and listen to your intuition. And if you've been in a dream state that you've just been thinking a lot and not doing anything, take on a bold step forward. Like, notice how it feels. I hope this episode resonated with you, and if it did, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment if you got this far, so I know you're a real one. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time.